Welcome back to Marta's Planning Mess. This is a video about my Hobonichi Weeks, which is my meal and fitness planner. And this thing has been a great workhorse. I am still enjoying it, even though I started it in December. And I shouldn't say it that way because that makes it sound like starting it could potentially make me not like it. But I started it in last couple days of November, and I struggle to find a layout that works with me consistently. And this is a horizontal layout, which normally would drive me crazy, but it has worked so well for tracking my meals and things like that, that it has been the perfect planner for that. So let's hop into it here. I've got my Aldi quarter because this goes with me to go shopping. It's got my shopping lists in it. And I printed this. It's a freebie from Coffee Monster Co. on their Facebook page. And it's just it's super cute calendar. They do give you that in here as well. So I've got information, contact information, and then we've got calendars 2025, 24, and 26. They like to give you those three. For this, I don't really reference it much. I think this is like referencing the week that we get paid, and as a way to track the income and spending and stuff. That is what I use this for. These divisions, some weeks have 4, some have 6. I don't know what I did there, why all those are 4. But you know how there's 13 weeks per quarter rather than 12. So some months are going to have 5 weeks to them. So as I budget my money, if it's a 5-week month, starting at the 15th, then I need to spend less each week for that same amount of money that I get paid once a month to make it to the end. Okay, this is a yearly section. I'm using that for my steps, and I have not filled this in for a while, but it's all information I can very easily grab. I'm actually starting to track it somewhere else in here now, but it will be nice for me to see this all together as a yearly picture. So I will do it in both places, but I don't keep up with this in the same place all the time. I'm going to get rid of this. That's been sitting there as ideas of how to use this page. I don't need ideas. I'm using it like this. I'm good with that. Okay, December. So what I use the monthly section for is a place to show what I did that week. So this is for fitness and for meals. So this is more my fitness section. So I'm putting in weights. I'm putting in how many miles I walked, or if I do any other kind of exercise. And if I need to indicate anything. The Christmas break, I do not do well outside of my routine and my pattern. So nothing happened for like 3 weeks. Okay. Here's my measurements that I track. Here's like the number of miles for that week. I guess my total that week is 1.35. That's kind of sad. Okay, but it's better than the 0 there. Okay, and I have not put those numbers in for this last week. I walked 2 miles both of those days. So a total for 4. We were driving back and forth on these days, and these days were busy days to get out and do my walking. So I can go ahead and move that over to February. I did go for my walk today, and I walked 3.28 miles with my friend. Okay, that's how I use my monthly section. I did not weigh today because I totally forgot. So I do that first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. So now that I've eaten and stuff, that weight will not fit in that category of weighing, that first thing in the morning, empty stomach weighing. Okay, so let's go to here. So this starts in December, the weekly section as well as the monthly section. It ends in I don't know. They give you several extra months. I didn't want those, so I just took them out and then I glued this down here. So it doesn't look super nice, but I don't think I ruined it either. If I do another Hobonichi Weeks, which I very likely could, I would start this in the next one, probably. I don't know what I would do with that extra space. come around. But okay, we started. So this is week 48 in a 52-week cycle. So filling out all the foods I'm eating, keeping track of macros, daily averages, water average, weight average, and then a photo is kind of the pattern that I followed. And it eventually got kind of inconsistent, but I eventually got to, okay, so this is still the same format. Let's see. I'm going to take that off. This is still the same format. Where was it? Have I not? Okay, this week, week 4. Week 4, I was like, okay, I have FOMO. I have planner FOMO. So I'm always looking at how other people do their planners. Can I learn something from them? Is there something I want to incorporate? Something that could be more interesting, more visually stimulating, make me more excited about it? And I'm pretty excited about it to begin with. So I'm always looking. So as I was looking, people were using this whole section to do all sorts of trackers and graphs and stuff. And I was like, I want that so bad. But as you can see, like, this was all full of macro information, water, and that was it. I had no room for those kind of trackers. And so it was like, how am I going to get this to fit? And so I ultimately decided that I needed to shrink the information to fit on one page. So from here, see, this is just naming what I'm eating. And it's divided in 3 rows. And this is a division I have to do myself because this is what the planner looks like blank. There's no boxes even, although you can see through from the other side. There's no grid. It's just this empty space. And so, so a lot of people, they've got little dots here. A lot of people divide it into columns. So there's like 3 boxes per day, or like a wide one and a skinny one. And that works for a lot of people. If you want Hobonichi Weeks layouts, I mean, you can find, they are the most beautiful, exciting, dynamic things you've ever seen. They just don't work for my everyday carry needs. But I was going somewhere with that. Anyway, because this is blank, I divided it in 3, which was like a 2-box height. But when I decided to try and cram everything, all of that macro information, plus the totals over there, I needed to divide it in 4. So this was too wide or too tall. So I got my ruler out. I divided it in 4. I highlighted this section so you can kind of see where the day starts and stops, and worked with that. So I do my planning in pencil because, you know, life. If I change my plan, I can erase it and write it in. If it's in pen, it means it truly happened. So I've got my carbs, fat, protein, calories, and then daily totals here. Over here, I have a sleep tracker, so you can see the number of hours and then also what my sleep score was. This next section is how much water I'm drinking. Here's if I did my stretching exercises, my weightlifting, or my walks, and then weights there. And then this section here is a way to track my macros. So you can see at the beginning of the week, I tend to do good. And then as it gets towards the weekend, when there's other plans, things can just go haywire, which I need to work on. Tracking weight, tracking my steps, and tracking my energy level, which is a new thing that my watch started doing for me. So that was last week. No, the week before. This was last week here. And you can see all my graphs I filled out. And I just enjoy that. I keep forgetting to take my picture. I did do it today for the next week. So here is this week, week 6. So I've got my... I have my meals all planned for the ones that I have control over. And then what I need to do, and maybe I'll do right now real quick, is I need to highlight between the days, because right now my brain is struggling to see where one day starts and one day stops. So those are my totals right there. there are some days where I know I'm going to eat out with somebody and we haven't decided where we're eating or what we're eating. So I've kind of left the meals a little bit vague, because if I'm trying to hit my macros, then it's hard to plan that if you don't know what your eating plan is going to be the rest of the day. But as we get closer is when I'll check in with my friend and be like, what are we eating? Where are we going? So I have some sort of a heads up warning what to eat for breakfast. Okay, so I've got in what I know I'm gonna do, and my blank ones for the things I don't, and I've got all my graphs drawn in. Now I like to use sticky notes to track meals, because this is a meal that we eat recurrently. And so I've got it here because the question is, like, I know what the meal is, I know how to make it, but like, what was my portion size to end up with those macros? So 1/6 of the recipe is 1 portion. That's what I'm planning on eating. I'm going to have cottage cheese with it, 3/4 cup, and I'm going to have 150-gram potato with that. And then when I go into the meal, it's not, oh, I ate the meal, but I ate more of the meal than I should or less than I should. So it just gives me a way to plan that. And then when I'm done with that, I'll move it to the back in this section where I've got some meals saved up. So that's how I'm kind of using some of the back. Okay, so this is all working out really well. I love having this. It is so fun for me to like plan out what I do, see if I've hit my goals. Got to be more consistent about those weekends. Got to figure out something, because I don't like seeing those numbers going through the sky when I want them to be where they should be. Okay, so after we get done with the weekly section, we have a bunch of blank pages in the back of a Hobonichi Techo. So I've got a weekly log for my I get an average weight for the week and my measurements for the week. And then I'm probably not going to use that. BMI and body fat percentage is not changing that much. Okay, so this is something that I need to catch up because I haven't done that. But this is a way to track my daily steps, how far I walked every day if I was on the Appalachian Trail. It's just a way to kind of connect with my husband, who is really into the AT. So I stopped on the 17th. So I need to finish filling that out for the rest of January, because I could be this far in it. I did sit down and figure out how far, if I gave myself 2 spaces per day, how much of this I would need to finish out a year, which looks like the end of this page. And then here's my meal tracking Post-its. And I don't believe I have anything else. That's all empty. Oh, so I'm keeping track of blood pressure in a different book, but I don't have anywhere to graph it. So this is where I want to graph it at. And that's something doesn't have to necessarily stay up to date, but it's here if I want to look at that or see it in any way. Oh, so I'm keeping track of home cooked meals in a different planner, but it looks like I had decided to dedicate my 100 list to home cooked meals. And I haven't done anything with it. You know, sometimes you use everything in these books, and sometimes you're like a 365-day checkoff sheet for workouts. Probably not, but I guess I could go through and just give it, highlight what I did just to kind of see it all is in there. But that can be done even at the end of the year. It's not necessarily going to be something I need to keep up with. So that's where I'm at in the Hobonichi Weeks, and it's working really well for me. I highly recommend, if you're looking for a fitness or meal planner, this is a really good format to make that work for you.